We'll hit tab to go to the arrangement view. Let's type in kick 909 again. Let's drag this in and zoom in on it, click and drag down. Remove the fade. We'll right click this time and set the grid to the quarter note fixed grid. So now we can trim our kick and hit Command D so that it happens on those quarter notes. Highlight across our 4 kicks and hit Command L to change our arrangement loop to loop this selection. And now let's change the grid to 1/8 notes, and let's add our hi-hat open 909. And we want to put this on that 1/8 note between each kick. So we'll trim it. Let's zoom in here a little bit so you can see it better. And Option copy. And now what we want to do is we want to add our hi-hat closed 909. We're going to place this on the track below it. And now we want to set the fixed grid here to 16th notes. Down in the bottom, fixed grid 16th notes. And we're going to put these hats around the open hat. And let's do that on this first part of our beat here, and maybe this third part. And let's trim that. So with this too, this hat is going to be more of an accent to the open hat. So let's be sure to adjust the track volume down quite a bit here. Let's go to -9. I think we'll adjust it even a bit more to -12. And I really want to tighten these up with the fades. And now we're going to do something interesting. We're going to learn how to move these clips off of the grid so that we can create more of a human feel to the beat. So this is important when you're programming drums like this, because if everything's directly on the grid, it might feel a little robotic in the feel of the beat. So let's go ahead and offset these a little bit. So we could do that by highlighting them and zoom in, and we want to hold on a Mac Command or on a PC Control, and we can click and drag that to free it from the grid. So let's drag this back a little bit and trim this. And now it should feel a little bit more loose and have a little bit more groove to it. And if you're finding this tutorial helpful and want to learn more, this video is actually part of a 10-day Ableton bootcamp course available at sequence1.org. Let's shorten the kick. And let's add a clap. Clap 909. Let's drop this in. I'll hit Option Command L to hide the detail view down there at the bottom so we have more screen real estate. Copy the clap over, so 1.2, 1.4. Let's trim it. Let's make this a little bit longer. So we'll highlight all 4 of these tracks, and we're going to hit Command D. So now I've made this 2 bars. I'll extend the arrangement loop here, so that now loops this 2 bars. And let's create a subtle variation at the end of 2 bars here. So I'll shorten that hi-hat, maybe add one of these. Let's trim the clap, and maybe we'll have a second clap. I don't like that clap, but let's add 2 extra hats. Okay, and now let's zoom out. And we'll highlight this all again. I want to right click first and go change back to the adaptive grid. We remember with the adaptive grid, setting it to narrow. Remember the grid lines adapt as we zoom, right? And remember the number changing down in the bottom right. That tells you what the grid is currently set to. So let's highlight this and hit Command D to duplicate that. Let's adjust our arrangement loop. And now let's do some more editing. So let's do a little bit of changing here. So I'll delete the last kick. Let's remove this hat. Let's elongate this one. And let's elongate the clap. And we'll just do that, a little bit of subtraction here at the end. And the reason I'm doing this is I want things to just sound subtly different, but keep the beat the same. If we change too many things, we might lose the groove. But with this method of changing stuff at the end of the bar, this really helps to create subtle variations in the beat. So let's hear this. That's super cool. So if we wanted to consolidate these into larger clips now, we can highlight the whole row of clips and hit Command J on a Mac or Control J on a PC. That's going to consolidate it into a nice new clean clip. And remember, when you do this, it is going to apply that auto fade at the beginning. Especially with kicks, we want to make sure that that is brought back. So again, highlight, Command J. You can also highlight, right click, and choose Consolidate. Highlight, right click, Consolidate. Now, this is really cool because when we want to arrange later, we have a larger clip that we can move around and work with. All right, so that's it for programming our beats.